Imagine waking up one morning and discovering that your ability to perform intimately has silently disappeared. For thousands of men over 60 who engage in daily self-stimulation, this isn't just a frightening scenario. It's becoming their reality. What medical professionals aren't telling you about this common habit could be the missing piece to restoring the vitality you thought was lost forever. Hello, I'm Dr. Julia Merrick. For over 11 years, I've dedicated my practice to helping men over 60 reclaim their sexual confidence, intimate health, and physical performance. Today, I'm addressing a topic many healthcare providers avoid, but that affects millions of men silently suffering behind closed doors. The information I'm about to share might challenge long-held beliefs, but understanding these facts could be the turning point in your intimate wellness journey. Whether you've noticed gradual changes or sudden difficulties, the connection between your daily habits and your performance is stronger than most men realize. When a man over 60 engages in daily self-stimulation, his body responds differently than it did in his younger years. This isn't about shame or judgment. It's about understanding the physiological reality that few men are ever told about. First, your testosterone recovery period extends significantly. While a younger man might fully replenish hormonal levels within hours, your body now requires 48 to 72 hours to restore optimal testosterone levels after ejaculation. Daily self-stimulation creates a continuous hormonal deficit that affects everything from your energy levels to muscle tone. Second, your dopamine sensitivity changes dramatically. Frequent self-stimulation leads to temporary dopamine depletion, which can manifest as decreased motivation, reduced pleasure in daily activities, and, crucially, diminished sensitivity during intimate moments with a partner. Third, and perhaps most importantly, the nitric oxide production that's essential for strong blood flow and firm erections becomes less efficient. This compound is the fundamental building block of erectile function, and after age 60, your body produces 30 to 40% less of it naturally. Each ejaculation temporarily depletes these already reduced reserves. Many men mistakenly believe that regular self-stimulation keeps the system working. While sexual activity is indeed healthy, the frequency that worked in your 40s can actually work against you after 60. But before you feel discouraged, know that understanding this process is your first step toward reclaiming control. How do you know if your self-stimulation habits are undermining your sexual health? There are 3 clear warning signs that few men recognize until the problem has advanced. Warning sign number 1. You require more intense or specific stimulation to achieve arousal. When daily self-stimulation becomes routine, your body adapts by becoming less responsive to subtle stimulation. This creates a troubling cycle where increasingly intense stimulation becomes necessary, making natural intimate encounters less satisfying or even insufficient for arousal. Warning sign number 2. You experience what specialists call delayed recovery. This manifests as unusual fatigue, irritability, or brain fog the day after ejaculation. If you notice these symptoms consistently following self-stimulation, your body is signaling that it needs more recovery time than you're allowing. Warning sign number 3. Perhaps the most revealing indicator. You can achieve erection during self-stimulation, but struggle during partner intimacy. This discrepancy reveals that psychological factors aren't the primary issue. Rather, your nervous system has adapted to a specific type of stimulation that doesn't translate to natural intimate encounters. These warning signs aren't a cause for alarm, but for awareness. Your body is communicating valuable information that, once understood, can guide your path to recovery, and that recovery can begin much sooner than you might imagine. Recent research reveals a startling pattern. 78% of men over 60 are making one fundamental mistake in their approach to maintaining sexual function. They're applying the same frequency rules from their younger years to their current stage of life. This mistake manifests in 3 common patterns. Pattern 1. The use it or lose it misconception. Many men believe that frequent ejaculation is necessary to maintain function. However, after 60, your sexual system benefits more from quality encounters with adequate recovery periods than from frequent ejaculation that outpaces your body's recovery capacity. Pattern 2. compensating for performance anxiety with increased self-stimulation. When natural intimate encounters become challenging, many men unconsciously increase self-stimulation as reassurance that everything still works. This actually worsens the underlying issue by further training your body to respond only to specific patterns of stimulation. Pattern 3. Using self-stimulation as stress management. While sexual release can indeed temporarily reduce stress, relying on daily self-stimulation as your primary stress management tool creates hormonal imbalances that ultimately increase anxiety and reduce performance capacity. The good news? Simply adjusting your approach to align with your body's current needs can reverse these patterns. And the first step begins with a morning routine that most men never consider. What you do in the first 30 minutes after waking has a profound impact on your hormonal balance and erectile capacity throughout the day. This 5-step morning routine has helped thousands of my patients reclaim their natural function without medications. Step 1. Begin with 2 full glasses of room temperature water with a 1/4 teaspoon of natural sea salt. This simple practice increases plasma volume and supports healthy blood pressure, essential factors for strong erections. Most men are chronically dehydrated, which directly impairs erectile capacity. Step 2. Engage in 5 minutes of specific pelvic floor exercises that go beyond basic Kegels. The sequence begins with 10 slow contractions, holding each for 5 seconds, followed by 20 rapid contractions. This activates both slow and fast-twitch muscle fibers in your pelvic floor, improving blood flow precisely where you need it most. Step 3. 3 minutes of exposure to direct natural sunlight on your face and as much skin as practical. This morning light exposure regulates your circadian rhythm and optimizes testosterone production, which peaks in the early morning hours. Disrupted sleep cycles are directly linked to reduced testosterone and poor erectile function. Step 4. Consume specific nutrients that support nitric oxide production. A small handful of raw walnuts, 3 to 5 grams of citrulline from watermelon or supplements, and antioxidant-rich berries provide the precursors your body needs to produce this critical compound. Step 5. 5 minutes of mindful breathing focusing on the pelvic region. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system, essential for arousal, and increases blood flow to the genital area. Simply visualizing increased warmth and circulation while breathing deeply can measurably improve blood flow. This routine requires less than 30 minutes, but creates a compounding effect when practiced consistently. Men who follow this protocol while adjusting their self-stimulation frequency report significant improvements within 2 to 3 weeks. The connection between circulation and erectile function is direct and undeniable. After age 60, your vascular system undergoes natural changes that can be either supported or undermined by your habits. When self-stimulation becomes daily, 3 critical changes occur in your circulatory system. First, the endothelial cells lining your blood vessels experience what researchers call nitric oxide fatigue. These cells produce less nitric oxide with each sequential ejaculation, with diminishing returns when insufficient recovery time is allowed. Nitric oxide is the primary vasodilator that allows blood to fill erectile tissue. Second, microscopic inflammation develops in small blood vessels throughout the pelvic region. This inflammatory response is designed to be temporary, but without adequate recovery time, it becomes chronic and reduces blood flow precisely where strong circulation is most needed. Third, your sympathetic nervous system, responsible for fight-or-flight responses, becomes chronically overactivated. This causes subtle but persistent vasoconstriction throughout your body, directly opposing the vasodilation necessary for firm erections. The good news is that your vascular system remains remarkably responsive to positive changes. By allowing proper recovery periods between ejaculations, typically 48 to 72 hours for men over 60, you can restore optimal circulatory function. Many men discover that less frequent but higher quality experiences actually improve both satisfaction and performance. Few men understand how deeply sleep quality affects sexual function, or how self-stimulation patterns influence sleep architecture. This interconnection creates either a virtuous cycle of recovery or a downward spiral of diminishing returns. When you ejaculate, your body releases a complex cocktail of neurochemicals, including prolactin, serotonin, and oxytocin. In younger men, these promote healthy sleep. However, after 60, excessive self-stimulation creates imbalances in these sleep-regulating compounds. Studies show that men who engage in daily self-stimulation experience up to 30% less deep sleep and REM sleep, precisely the sleep stages where testosterone production and tissue repair are highest. This creates a troubling pattern. Reduced deep sleep leads to lower testosterone production, which further reduces sexual capacity. Additionally, the dopamine fluctuations from frequent self-stimulation disrupt your brain's ability to transition smoothly between sleep cycles. Many men mistakenly believe self-stimulation before bed improves sleep, when measurements show it actually fragments sleep architecture and reduces overall quality. The solution is straightforward. Limit self-stimulation to times at least 4 hours before bedtime, and allow adequate recovery days between experiences. This simple adjustment restores natural sleep architecture, optimizes hormonal production during deep sleep, and creates a positive cycle where improved sleep enhances sexual function. Your dietary choices can either accelerate recovery or prolong dysfunction. These 5 specific foods contain compounds that directly support the physiological systems most affected by excessive self-stimulation. Food number 1. Dark leafy greens, particularly arugula and spinach. These contain high levels of dietary nitrates that convert directly to nitric oxide in your body. Consuming 1 cup daily can increase nitric oxide production by up to 20%, directly supporting erectile function. Food number 2. Pomegranate. This fruit contains unique antioxidants called punicalagens that protect nitric oxide from breaking down in the bloodstream. 8 ounces of pomegranate juice daily has been shown to improve erectile firmness in 62% of study participants over age 60. Food number 3. Beets. These contain both nitrates and betalains, compounds that reduce inflammation in blood vessels and support healthy blood pressure. 1 medium beet or 4 ounces of beet juice provides optimal benefits. Food number 4. Zinc-rich foods like oysters, pumpkin seeds, and crab. Zinc is essential for testosterone production and prostate health. Most men over 60 are deficient in this critical mineral, especially when ejaculation is frequent. 15 to 30 milligrams daily supports optimal recovery. Food number 5. Antioxidant-rich berries, particularly blueberries and blackberries. These contain compounds that reduce oxidative stress in blood vessels and support mitochondrial function in your cells. Improved cellular energy production directly enhances erectile capacity and recovery. Incorporating these foods while adjusting self-stimulation frequency creates a powerful synergy that accelerates recovery and enhances function. Many men report noticeable improvements within 7 to 10 days of making these dietary additions. If you suspect excessive self-stimulation has affected your performance, this 3-day reset protocol can break the cycle and establish a new baseline. This isn't about permanent abstinence, but about resetting your neurological and hormonal systems. Day 1 focuses on circulatory recovery. Begin with the morning routine we discussed earlier. Throughout the day, engage in light walking for 5 minutes every hour to promote blood flow. Consume nitrate-rich foods and stay well hydrated. Most importantly, avoid both self-stimulation and intense visual sexual stimuli that trigger dopamine spikes without physical release. Day 2 targets hormonal rebalancing. Continue the morning routine, adding 20 minutes of strength training focused on large muscle groups. These exercises naturally increase testosterone production. Consume zinc-rich foods and ensure adequate healthy fat intake from sources like avocados and olive oil, which provide the building blocks for hormone production. Day 3 focuses on nervous system regulation. Practice the mindful breathing technique for 5 minutes, 3 times throughout the day. Minimize screen time and artificial light exposure after sunset to regulate melatonin production. Epsom salt baths before bed can further support recovery by providing magnesium and promoting deep relaxation. Throughout all 3 days, it's essential to completely avoid pornography and sexual imagery. These visual stimuli trigger dopamine release without physical release, prolonging the recovery process and reinforcing neurological patterns that may contribute to dysfunction. After completing this 72-hour reset, many men report a surprising increase in natural arousal, morning erections, and overall energy. This reset can be repeated monthly as a maintenance practice or whenever you notice the warning signs we discussed earlier. While medications have their place, they often mask symptoms rather than addressing root causes. These natural approaches work differently by supporting your body's inherent capacity for healthy function. First, targeted supplementation. L-citrulline, 3 to 5 grams daily, converts to arginine in your kidneys and supports nitric oxide production more effectively than direct arginine supplementation. Pycnogenol, a pine bark extract, at 100 to 200 milligrams daily, has been shown to enhance the activity of nitric oxide synthase, the enzyme that produces nitric oxide in blood vessel walls. Second, specific movement practices. Beyond general exercise, certain movement patterns directly enhance pelvic blood flow. The pelvic tilt bridge exercise, performed for 2 sets of 10 repetitions daily, activates the deep core muscles that support blood flow to the pelvic region. Traditional practices like specific qigong exercises focus energy and blood flow to the genital region through coordinated breathing and movement. Third, contrast hydrotherapy. Alternating warm and cool water to the lower abdomen and groin area for 3 minutes, 1 minute warm, 30 seconds cool, repeated, stimulates vasodilation and vasoconstriction, essentially training blood vessels to respond more efficiently. This practice, done 3 times weekly, can significantly improve vascular responsiveness. Fourth, acupressure. Specific points traditionally associated with sexual function can be stimulated daily. The point located 3 finger widths below your navel, when pressed firmly for 2 minutes while practicing deep breathing, activates parasympathetic nervous system responses that support erectile function. These approaches work most effectively when combined with appropriate self-stimulation frequency. Men who implement these practices while allowing adequate recovery time between ejaculations often find they can achieve natural function without requiring pharmaceutical support. The ultimate goal isn't simply improving physical function, but enhancing the intimate connection with your partner. Self-stimulation habits directly influence your capacity for meaningful, intimate experiences in ways few men recognize. When self-stimulation becomes your primary sexual outlet, 3 relationship challenges typically emerge. First, neurological conditioning. Your nervous system becomes conditioned to respond to specific types and patterns of stimulation that rarely match the sensations of partner intimacy. This creates a disconnect between what your body has learned to respond to and what occurs during natural, intimate encounters. Second, emotional disconnection. Frequent self-stimulation often becomes a stress management tool or sleep aid rather than an expression of genuine desire. This utilitarian approach can unconsciously transfer to partner interactions, reducing the emotional connection that's essential for satisfying intimacy. Third, unrealistic expectations. Regular consumption of visual sexual content during self-stimulation creates implicit expectations about how intimate encounters should progress, often emphasizing performance over connection and presence. Rebuilding intimacy beyond self-pleasure involves 3 key practices. First, mindful touch exercises with your partner that focus on sensation rather than performance. Spending 15 minutes exploring touch without the expectation of intercourse retrains your nervous system to respond to subtle stimulation and builds intimate connection. Second, communication about genuine desires and sensations rather than performance concerns. This vulnerability creates emotional intimacy that enhances physical response far more effectively than focusing on technique alone. Third, establishing realistic frequency expectations that honor your body's current recovery needs while maintaining connection. Many couples discover that planning intimate encounters with adequate recovery time between them actually enhances both quality and satisfaction. Remember, the goal isn't elimination of self-pleasure, but finding a balanced approach that supports rather than undermines your capacity for meaningful, intimate connection. If this information has been valuable to you, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave your questions or experiences in the comments. And now don't stop here. Click on the next video appearing on your screen and continue learning with me, Dr. Julia Merrick, how to live with more potency, confidence, and pleasure, even after 60. I'll see you there.